I'm Dani. Welcome to this recap of Miss Universe Philippines 2023 preliminary swimsuit competition. Here we go in no particular order. Cebu Province, double spin turn to get things started? Okay, that really wowed me. Honestly, just fantastic job here. Great with everything. The walk itself, the poses, her facial transitions. For me, this was the best performance I have seen from her for the entire competition, and what better timing than to bring out the best for prelims. Marinduque, really nice little flip of that ponytail with her hair. Great job. She has this like very genuine signature smile that I love, and I really loved that. I really also loved this specific face she made, the expression in her face when she was walking straight down the runway to her end pose. She also did an excellent exiting spin turn with a little extra hair toss in there. So just good job, very excited for her. Pasig, really nice first spin turn here. Great way to kick things off. She was so confident too, and I just felt that. I just felt that also she just did very well overall, not even just in terms of swimsuit, but if we're looking at interview, and I'm just really hoping for a placement for her. Zambales to me had a perfect opening pose. She had a really nice over the shoulder look on stage left. It was unique, it was different. I would say don't touch the sash. Oh my goodness, please don't do that. Now, I personally didn't feel like this performance was quite as much, I would say, as her other performances. One thing I will have noticed though, is I did feel that with the amount of time that she had, that she still could have taken something out. You could see that she had a plan, that she's like, I'm doing this, and this. But with the amount of time that she had, I did feel that everything she was doing was a little bit rushed. I don't think that the over the shoulder whip of this, or over the head whip of the sash did much to enhance the performance. I think she would have done fine without it, but I also didn't feel like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was something that I would be like, oh no, I'm gonna mark you down for that or anything like that, because I paid more attention to just the walk itself in this case. The only thing I would have taken out literally was the thing over the head. But other than that, loved her. If you're enjoying this episode, please consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that super thanks button or joining memberships for an extended version of this episode and many others. Devout Oriental, for me, overall, she's just been one of my favorites. I love her. I will say great walk, great poses. All of that was there. One thing I noticed though is that you could tell that her mouth was dry because she tried to do this one change and you could see that her lip kind of got caught on the teeth. So just as a note for every lady, ladies, I know we get nervous, we get a dry mouth, so just make sure before you walk out, kind of lick those teeth a little bit, okay? So when you do those transitions, your mouth doesn't get kind of caught on a tooth. That just happens from time to time. Baguio, gorgeous, confident. You can hear the crowd really cheering for her. She delivered for me a consistent performance of what I would expect for her. I will say, however, her final look, like that last facial she made, I didn't feel like she looked as confident as she normally does, but I also didn't think that it would be something, you know, big enough or noticeable enough to prevent her from moving on to semifinals. I still love her. Agusan del Norte, no surprise here for me. I think that she had a very consistent performance in comparison to what we've seen from her in other challenges, so no shock here. I just think that she's always solid, has great facial expressions. The one change I would make though going into finals would be really to relax the arch in the back. I do feel like there's quite a bit of tension behind her. I don't know why for this competition. I haven't seen this before, but there's quite a bit of an overarch and you can really see it when she is to the side. So I would just like her to relax a little more. Sorsogon is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Her facials that she did on stage, really pretty facials on stage left. A nice pose at the end of the runway. This was just such a solid performance for me and just well done. Bulacan, I'm so happy for her. Okay, so I really liked her. I do think that the walk always needs a little bit of work. That's okay, but I've talked about this in other episodes. She's had a back injury, so that's gonna affect her walk, and we do take that into consideration here. But the one thing I had been wanting from her, which was more facial expression changes, that happened here for prelims. So I was super excited to see that. And also her sash fell and she did such a great job just ignoring that, not worrying about it, and continuing on with her performance. So very well done. Southern Lete, so she had a really, really clean first pose. All right, I don't know who she's been working with, but it's been working, okay? Great. Now, oh my gosh, I loved the facial expression on stage left. Like, I don't know who's teaching her that or if that's just her, but it was wonderful. Now, she did seem to go the wrong way on stage, but she pretty quickly corrected that. But what was important is that she didn't make it look like she made a mistake. So that's something to learn from. I hope the judges don't take that part into consideration. I hope they don't, score her down at all for walking the wrong way. I'm sure it was an accident. She corrected and she just made it look like that's how it was supposed to look. So great job. Ladies, don't forget, if you're competing for a pageant and you want more tips and help, sign up for my free pageant prep course that is linked in the description. Bahol, for me, is one of the contestants that hasn't been consistent with walking performances, but I will say that this straight hair was working for her. I loved the hair and makeup here. She really nailed the facial expression on her first pose, and for me, she was just back on. So there's been moments where I was like, she's on or she's off, and here she was on right when she needed to be, and really, that's what's important. My only suggestion for this performance is that I would have liked to have seen hands on hips for that final pose. I just feel like it would have been more of a moment, more of a power pose to finish things off. Kavite, gosh, her hair is like hair goals. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's all her or if those are extensions, but it's gorgeous every single time. I just feel like with her, you cannot help but look at her. I feel like her face on stage is just so stunning. It's just her features, just her features. So she looked really, really beautiful. Of course, she's incredibly fit. I like this performance. I feel like she's feeling herself. She's confident. I do, however, think that the poses could have had a little bit more coordination. So maybe that's something we can change going into finals. Pampanga, great first pose here. I could just really feel her confidence, and I love that. It's just like, you could see her and she's like, yeah, I know I'm doing a great job. Like, I loved it. Now, I wish that she held her pose on stage left for just like a little second longer, but the smile when she was walking forward was fantastic. Love the pony and the hair flip that she did. She's just very confident. She just gives me the vibes of like, I got this. Eastern Samar. Okay, look at her with this entrance pose. Okay, wow. I feel like her poses have just been some of the cleanest. I loved it. She nailed them here for prelims, which is where it really, really counts. She did touch her sash a little bit. Overall lesson, like, I'm just gonna keep saying it till everybody just stops messing with their sashes. Just don't touch it. But really, really great smile and pose at the end of the runway. And really, this was wonderful. She also had a great interview, so I feel like this just added to her performance. I'm surprised by my favorite swimsuit performance of this group because she is a contestant that I felt like had such great potential, and she just kind of wasn't there in the challenges, like wasn't quite there. I'm very excited to say she is Chaeung Kazan, and she was my favorite swimsuit performance. Oh my goodness. She just nailed every facial for me. The poses were there. The walk, also consider, in my opinion, she had a great interview, so you're gonna tack that onto the score. She had a wonderful final pose. There were just moments there for me. She had this really great little grin face that she would make, and I loved it. And I just looked at her and I thought, you finally showed up. Oh my gosh. So I guess she was just holding back for the other challenges, which I would not suggest, but she did fantastic here, and she had my favorite swimsuit performance. Other thing I want to mention, Celeste came out for the preliminary comp, and they brought her on stage, and she gave such beautiful advice. She talked about not losing yourself in the process of pursuing this title, and that regardless of the pressure and the expectation to really stay true to you, what you came there to do, and to kind of forget about all that stuff. But the way that she said it was just so beautiful. I'm so sad she didn't place at Miss Universe, because literally go and watch what she just had to say for the preliminary competition. Listen to how she speaks on stage. And I'm sad that we didn't get that opportunity. We didn't get to hear from her at Miss Universe, but it was very well said. Those are my thoughts on the swimsuit competition. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you will check out my other episode about the preliminary interview competition as well. I appreciate you for joining me. I hope that you chose to subscribe and that you've already hit that notification bell. All of your support means so much to me, and I really hope to see you very soon.